Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Patch Notes. My name's Tom. I'm joined here by some other people. There's going to be Chuck, there's going to be Fishman, and of course, our buddy Chris Larson. This is patch 4.8 that we're going over. My name's Tom F. Otherwise, I'm sorry, Hinduman can't be here. He is off traveling the world. IEM Australia. Exciting esports stuff, but as far as everything else is concerned,
poisonous creatures there.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh really? Like which?
Like all of them.
Spiders, snakes, everything else.
Plus
Plus crocodiles, who are not poisonous, but are also scary.
Fantastic start, but as always, we'll start off with what you guys are good at, the skins. Right? You guys have really put in a lot of work.
We have good ones. We have good ones this time.
Yes, we do have very good ones, and I am very excited. So this first one is Arlong Shen. I'm a little bit different, and that's why I'm going to make Patch Notes my own show. Arlong Shen here is going to be representing a little bit of Hinduman, but also a little bit of me. Right there, he is.
A little bit of Chris Larson.
Queen's Guard Arlong Shen.
Of having a digital corgi.
Yep.
Is come true.
And
I have the model here.
That's what I'm saying.
Right,
what would a Patch
reference.
Notes with F. be without an actual dog? So shout outs to my friend, the actual dog. Here he is, right on the desk.
Right
my
now.
friend.
She's like, I don't like this.
No,
at
she
all.
likes it. She's a lot of fun.
Think so?
She's having a lot of fun right here. Oh no, that's the in-game.
That's the
actual
in-game
dog.
one.
But let's take a look
So
at how
cute.
Oh wow. So I was actually really excited about this. Look, first of all, she wags the actual tail. Okay. Oh, right. We have to actually look at Arlong Shen. So Arlong Shen is a character itself right here.
It's
dressed
really
in
about the
red.
dog, isn't
That's
it?
what I'm saying.
It is. It was really that everyone
There's the wag.
decided we
Look
were
at that
going
wagging.
to have the dog, and what was the guy going to be?
That's
that
right.
was really
How do
the
we
argument.
justify
Yeah.
Larson's corgi?
Yes.
And so the story behind this, for those that are unaware, is that the queen has a large amount of corgis. Not just one corgi, but the queen of England actually
She's
has
got like
corgis.
12.
Yeah, it's like a whole like gaggle of
A
corgis.
stable full of
Yeah.
corgis.
I think it's a murder of corgis is the technical term. And so the corgi represented here represents the queen's dog, of course. And then Arlong Shen himself is up there in the regalia of a queen's guard. They're the ones that can't talk, right? They're not allowed to talk much. So
Who
Yes.
I hear are actually like secretly really scary dudes who like have Secret Service training and stuff, and you're not supposed to mess with them because they will break you in half.
the dog or the guy?
Bree.
Hey.
She's
I
like,
don't want to make eye contact. There's weird humans here. Come on, table.
So he does have a couple of new things going on.
Oh man, I want to see the corgi is
Yeah.
attacking.
See?
Odin.
corgis don't attack though.
They
This one
can.
does.
Attack corgi. Fierce attack corgi.
They're more derpy than attack dogs.
They're pretty derpy.
So I love
Look
the turtle.
at that flag
Yeah, Mr.
on the
Turtle
turtle shell.
representing the
And the
flag.
hat.
The hat is better shown on the other animal, actually. Pon, if you could show us the mongoose is loose. What a good hat.
That's pretty adorable.
What a good hat.
That's nuts.
I
That
mean,
is absolutely
It's a
nuts.
great hat. The big
Target
old
looks
taunt.
pretty hyped too with that flag emblem there.
Yeah, no, these are actually some really solid animal looking things going on here with the flag on the back. So I think they did a strong job with the Arlong Shen. I am enamored with the dog, and the fact that I have a dog here on Patch Notes with me. I'm in Patch Notes heaven right now. This is officially the best Patch Notes show I've ever done. Ever.
What was causing him to have the crown buff above his head?
What? Oh. Well, yeah, he gets the two different buffs that he can
There
stack
it
on
is.
top of each
That's
other.
cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like the
that's
little
pretty neat.
Gold crown on top.
And now
That's-
we couldn't leave him silent because, he needs a voice pack. So
Right.
we just made him inordinately British.
So why don't we let Pon let her rip? Let's hear what Queen's Guard Arlong Shen has to say. Well, all right. Well, we won't.
Sounds
actually
like
do
he's
that.
saying Pon forgot to buy the voice pack.
I'm on a different account. Oh baby.
Wow. Yet
So here,
Yet another
listen,
failure.
No, this is how we fix it. Can we just get a zoom in on the dog? This is how we will fix this issue here. In lieu of voice pack, we have a real dog, and we can just look at the dog. So
Yeah.
that's how that one works.
Yeah.
Pon can go get it.
I mean, why not?
And then you can see Chris's dog, who's being incredibly well behaved.
Yeah, she's doing well. She
Yeah, she's
usually
doing well.
is a lot more nervous, but
No.
she licked Fishman one
hanging
time,
out.
so that's a good sign.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like
she's
sign for
among
me or sign for
friends.
her? I don't know.
Also, can we get a close-up of how swanky the outfit on this Erling Shin? The materials are incredible.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, actually, the Arlong Shen
He's got a
himself.
velvety jacket and
Yeah.
his pants are so silky.
Yeah, we've been focusing a little bit on the L dog, because I mean, look.
Yeah.
But there's some neat stuff.
I mean, the motto was perfect, right?
Graceful.
I mean, no tail, pointy ears. Yeah.
Badge of honor around the collar.
And shedding like crazy.
Tiny, ridiculous legs.
Yeah. Just dumb.
Kind of afraid of heights now.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
I'm
like,
never this tall.
This is weird.
Ever. This is not my height.
She's like, okay, I've had enough of this.
I wish she was closer.
I don't know. I have some kind of Game of Thrones fixation. Like you said, how swanky the outfit was, and I heard House Wanky, and I was like, that's the worst house name ever.
Wow, that was man. That actually was. So right now, bear with us. We're just kind of gonna pet this dog for a little bit, and we're gonna get those voice packs underway.
Yeah, somebody's gonna
Pon to the back room, figuring all that nonsense out. But we do have a couple of other skins that we'll dive deeper into a little bit later. We've got about 4 or so, which will be fun. But at the moment, I am just incredibly distracted by this canine unit right here.
It's true.
Do you want to pet her or anything?
please
yes, yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness.
No, she's chilling. I'm
down for
very
business
surprised. I'm very surprised about
bring
this.
me the executive order. She'll sign them.
Yeah. So are we getting the voice pack or what?
Yeah, Pon's working on it right now.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Whose name may be Pon.
For the course.
Pon for the course.
Yeah.
You like that one? You like that one? No? I thought that was a slam
for the
dunk.
course.
There it is.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right now, we're focused on that pom-pom look. So I said we have about 1, 2, 3, 4 other skins, and then a big deal. You saw how we started off with the patch notes down at the bottom. This is the Bob Ross patch.
Yep.
We have a really cool skin. Obviously, I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying that it's going to be Bob Ross and his homie.
What do we have behind
wait.
here? What's this?
We have a
Wait,
we have a painting.
Should I tell the story now?
Well, I think we're gonna have some stuff. We're getting Pon figured out. So, Chuck has a story that he's been dying to tell about sort of the one of the paths to our Bob Ross skin, which I think that's always the fun stuff, seeing what actually goes on behind the scenes and what you guys are actually doing.
This was one of the weirder situations that we were faced with.
How it came to pass.
It was a little divisive there in the beginning.
The art team was not enthused about the original design.
Yes, it's true.
But the result, everybody's happy with.
And we brought the original design, so when we discuss that, you guys can see it.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So Bob
Ross,
horrifying.
Excellent.
Had his time.
Oh,
wait, there we go.
I hear the sound. I hear the music. It might be time to go look at Queen's Guard Arlong Shen. And that's exactly what we'll do. So one more time, let's let Pon see what Queen's Guard has to say.
Woo! Woo! You're promoted. Excellent. I am your superior. Don't threaten the Queen's Guard. Don't mock the Queen's Guard.
Oh.
I killed the bear with my own 2 hands and made it into my hat.
Say hi.
There's some very dramatic music playing.
Is because we colonized
Excellent.
half of you. Woo!
There we go.
The voice pack's good.
It sounds really good. I think it sounds exactly like Hindu Man, actually. Pretty much on the money.
Was it not? I assumed we used him as the voice actor.
We actually attracted an Erez with the dog.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard not to really.
Yeah.
If I was in my office, I would have come down here and pet the dog. There he is, in game.
Look at that. Oh my God. I mean, it's a spitting image.
I watched the modelers painting the corgi with great accuracy.
Yeah.
They used so many corgi.
One of our
references.
greatest modelers worked on him.
Oh, yeah, the corgi jumps as well. And let's take one last look at what Arlong Shen has going on his whole regalia, all the front of the outfit and everything. Chuck was really proud of this one.
He's highly decorated.
Sure, he's a veteran of several engagements with all those medals.
I know, she's doing great.
A lot of fun stuff there on the Arlong Shen. I know it's dog related, and that's why I stuck on it for a long time, but I'm being told that I have to give up the corgi. So we're going to move on to the new Soul the new Soul skin, Soul Cosmic. This one's really sweet. Matches with that old Agni one, which is actually really, really neat. Our buddy Aggro, it's one of his favorite skins in the game, so this one should excite him. This is a season ticket award as well. So esports, that's what we're about here, at least with this skin. And you can go ahead and, you know, get your guesses right.
In the continuing line of cosmic skins, we have Hebo and Agni. Now we have Soul.
And now Soul.
It's cool because
all mages.
A lot of the skins kind of have a theme set, you know, like samurai or pirate or whatnot. These guys are just kind of like cool outer space, which I'm always behind.
Yeah,
I'm always down.
Kind of the idea of like wrapping
really
up the cosmos into a physical body. It just gives a cool visual play.
Yeah, Soul really wound up really neat here, and I think obviously her effects are going to be really dope. So why don't we take a chance to really see what she's got going on? Those are her basics. Those are actually really solid basics. She's heating up, going for 2. And then, come on, Pun. I had a rhythm
he
here.
maxed out the passive, and then
I had a
no
rhythm.
follow-up.
Heating up, going for 2, and then
Then we're gonna spawn
Pun.
spawns.
Like, hit it. There it is. Oh yeah, that's really cool. I was waiting for that one, but Pun had to throw me for a loop. So that's really fun.
Then she turns to a star.
And then where's the ultimate look like? That's really what we want to see. That's it.
Nice.
A lot of cool effects. So when something like this is like really effects heavy, how does that really alter the scenario of creating a god like this, or a skin like this rather?
I mean, it's good for mages to have very kind of extreme thematic skin designs so that we can do a lot with them. With the kind of martial fighters, you know, like with Erlong, right? You're just really, he's just got some cones and buffs and whatever stuff that you've got to kind of theme around. But with the mages, you kind of want to think of things that lend themselves to awesome effects.
Yeah, it's nice because on the characters you kind of want to draw attention visually to the parts of the mechanics that you need to pay attention to, and on a mage, that is the abilities, which are effects heavy. Like Chuck was saying, if you have an assassin, if you have a warrior, it's really, you know, their upfront melee, basic attack kind of animations that it's coming out of, so less opportunity to take advantage of that.
And that's one of the reasons that you know, the cosmic stuff so far has all been mages. Just you know,
good stage to perform on.
Yep.
Yeah, it's easier to sort of draw the eye to something that's already loud and obnoxious, and then make it dial it. This one goes up to 11, right? So.
Right. We have more things to theme.
And should be. Don't like stare at something that doesn't matter. Right?
Yeah.
That'd be bad.
Right.
Exactly. I think her the nebula. I'm not a science guy. The thing underneath her that she's sort of silver surfing
galaxy.
through. The galaxy.
Oh, you just got science owned.
I did get science owned. Oh my goodness.
The nebula is like an area of gas.
Okay.
I believe so.
Chuck's office after lunch. Is that what we're hearing? So right now, I think she looks really neat. Kind of sitting on that platform is also.
Bree's not enthused with this one.
No, she's not her favorite skin.
No, it's not her favorite skin.
She was feeling the other one before because she saw herself.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the problem. Maybe she'll like the next one.
Yeah, I think she'll like the next one.
I think she'll like the next one. Does Soul have an interesting voice pack? Actually, is the question.
Oh,
I believe she does, and so because of it, let's travel to the outer space, the nebula, and let's listen to what she has to say.
Woohoo! Your nebula. Super! I am the queen of this galaxy.
Shush.
Whoa.
What?
Shush.
What's that all about?
Shush.
Be quiet.
The universe is vast. You are just a particle of dust in my eyes. Where I am from, no one can hear you scream. The universe is made up of protons, neutrons, and electrons. But they always forget to mention morons.
She's throwing all kinds of science.
I like that one. What a classic time to go ahead and laugh. I'm surprised. She reminds me a lot of like Dr. Manhattan, like the sort of like out there, like I'm better than you. Uh-oh, she's heating up again now. So she's pretty sweet. Like I said, she goes in line with Habwa, Hebo, and the Agni skin out there.
That's right.
So there's a number of them that are involved. She will be the season ticket reward. So make sure that you have your season ticket on board for everything that's going on there, and you can earn points and all that good stuff. Coming up next is going to be a Thoth skin. We've got a new one for Raz. Is that his brother or his cousin?
I don't think
he's his advisor.
They're not related. Yeah, they have like a business relationship.
Yeah.
They're both magical birdmen.
Well, there you go. Rod's colleague / acquaintance Thoth here has a new skin, Vizier, and it's kind of dark magey out there.
Yeah, I think we've all kind of enjoyed the kind of
futuristic
dark mage thing that we've kind of had going on. Yeah.
So for some people, this might be like a little dose of nostalgia. For everyone else, it's just kind of like a evil, like courtier mage version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I get the like chaos magic, not quite necromancer, but just like
kind of warlocky.
Yeah, like there are guys there are magic missile slingers that come out and fire and ice, and they fight for good, and then here's Thoth, he's killing you with death magic, and he's bad.
Already looking at him, I like those shoulder crystals. That turned out well, and the book is always super cool. I like the purple glyphs inside and like the gemstone circle on the outside.
I mean, the beak with the teeth sticking out. Yeah. I mean, that's just. It's awesome. Yeah.
Clearly malevolent, as opposed to normal Thoth's kind of like I'm a good guy, but this guy is not.
He looks like he could be. He looks like he could be a villain in a fantasy take on the popular show Dinosaurs. Do you remember Dinosaurs? If you put that in a fantasy setting, no.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, kick the baby, don't kick the baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
His book looks like the fourth edition D&D manual.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an accident?
Yeah.
Real confident on that one.
I don't know if Mark may have been looking at 4th edition D&D manual.
I don't.
That's definitely something that I get the feel of, is sort of RPG style. Windows looking pretty cool.
I like that circle of protection in the wall. That's very cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Do we get a different look on the abilities as they pass through? Oh, okay. So it's different than the. He's more like an arrow, just like a
he's
bird
a little
man.
bit more vulture-y in his screechings.
Yeah. He's much more Birdman here, which I'm down for.
Now, I'm not sure, but I think the in-game version is a slightly older version. I think we have a more updated one in audio files that we'll listen to. That's the same. It's the same sounds, but just pitch shifted a little bit out of the screechy range.
Right.
Yeah.
So to my knowledge, that these are fine, and then the voice pack is a little bit different than what we have in the client. So we'll take a look at that and.
Yeah, we
just
dropped
a little
it down
bit.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a fan, though. It's kind of like he takes his dark magic and becomes more, bird-like. So
yeah.
I really enjoyed the Eldritch Ra, so we thought that would also be a fun kind of thing,
Again, very cool, like effects that he's standing on, like a dark velvety with some like motes in there. That's a cool thing.
So I think we do have the voice pack available. Just not in client. Are we able to? I think we're going to be able to show that in just a little bit. So we got a yep. This guy's really sweet. So I kind of really want to hear his voice pack.
Is that what?
So I think we'll get it in a matter of moments.
I don't know if you're hearing it, but we're not hearing it.
Yeah.
My people.
Oh.
I quite handsome.
That's
neat.
Among my people, I quite handsome.
Sounds a little bit like Dark Crystal.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the one?
Yeah.
I didn't notice the similarity.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can mention the dark magic and the crystals on his shoulder.
I'm bringing Skeksis back.
Oh, thumbs down. No.
Swipe right.
Who wrote that?
Please.
Does he? All right.
Yeah.
Who let Tully in the script building?
This is going to be a fun voice pack for those matches that you just need something like this.
Oh, I exclusively play this in the Latin American Chunga. So
you're the worst kind of player.
The
worst.
All day. This is just going to get added to the stable.
Trouble you have caused.
For the laugh spam.
Much trouble you have caused.
What a shame. I like this guy. Real talk, though. It kind of, looking at where Thoth comes from, it's like he was he walked down the. He walked down the bad guy path and became more of a bird man. I'm totally with it. Before we go, I want to see this. I want to see this all one more time.
I'm going to get muted with this skin.
You get muted with a lot of skins, Larson.
That's
it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I think you're my most muted playtester.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, can vouch.
That looks really awesome.
Yeah, this is a slam dunk. I think this is one of the Thoth skins that have come out that are a little bit more different than some of the ones that we've seen. So
yeah,
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this one, and I'm also a fan of this next guy. I really like kind of, I don't want to say troll gods, but troll gods. And my buddy Kuzenbo out there for all the Kuzenbo fans. Cruisin', bro. This one is honor-bound Kuzenbo, and right away you can see he's a little bit more ready to fight, ready to punch, pierce, and shred through everything in front of him. I'm
Rocking some
excited.
samurai digs.
Yeah, this one looks pretty neat. You can see all the little guys down there.
It's a samurai turtle.
Is it a samurai turtle?
That's right. That's right.
Correct.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at him in-game. He looks even cooler in-game, honestly. So first of all, can I just say, the Kuzenbo grin in general is just one of my favorite things in all of Smite. Like, that
oh my God.
That right there is one of my favorite things in the entire game.
See, this is one of those skins that,
Well,
you know how
got
people...
me to thank, buddy, because that was my direct...
People complain
It's
like
so
our
good.
card art's
Desire.
better than our models in some cases. This is
that's
a case
Kuzenbo.
where Kuzenbo is just,
Yeah.
he's the star in the game.
Absolutely. I mean, look at this guy. Look at him. He's flexing. He's just out there looking like the man.
Well, 'cause
turtle man with the turtle
You
plan.
needed the teeth to be able to, for him to convey his personality.
Well,
you know?
right.
He's
And
just,
there was a huge amount of back and forth on Kuzenbo's mouth compared to most ones. Like,
yeah.
everyone had an insight that they wanted to make sure got represented. That took a lot of iterations to make sure that all that turned out in there, and the result is really rewarding. So.
Yeah, so Kuzenbo's in
Jeez.
costume, and his little buddies are also in costume. Check out my little guy's hat right there.
Those guys are always so derpy.
He's got no one to fight right now. He's like, all right, you just walk in here, bot Odin.
It's like, why do they have the
I'm
safety
waiting.
helmet on?
just in case. It's the cold air water, you know?
Yeah, you know, you got to protect. That's the source of all
In
their
case you get
strength. You can't just
thirsty
let
or
that
whatnot,
slosh
you're like
out.
up here, you're like, you know?
That'd be
Stay
the
wet.
worst loss.
So Kuzenbo, yeah, he's got the little guy. Like I said, little guy's going to be in his
he's got the
own
sweet
gear.
armored shell.
Yeah.
Yep. That one, like, you know, there's not much you can really do there, but that's sweet. I mean, I like the way he's, what is that called? Is that his orange belt?
Could be.
Yeah? Just the tassels fly. I like the way that works out.
Yeah.
It's normally a rope on the...
It's a dog. You can pet the
Normal
dog.
Bree gives this a 7 out of 10.
That's what I'm saying. Bree likes it.
I also liked, like, on the front, how they took the traditional, like, brigandine-style lamellar armor and incorporated, like, a shell pattern into
Yeah.
it. Like, that's a cool, like, nod to both angles of it.
He just keeps his whole, and it's interesting because a lot of times when you see gods go from their original look to a different skin, the personality changes.
Yeah.
This is just Kuzenbo in costume.
Yeah.
Like, it's still Kuzenbo, and I am all about, me and Barracuda are all about Mr. Kuzenbo right here. He's still Kuzenboing around.
Yeah.
I love this dude.
Yep.
This guy's out of this
great.
world. Does he do can we get the ultimate? Does he do the spin thing? Yeah, there it is. That's always fun. And then when he's done doing the business, he just has that grin on, as always. Good old Kuzenbo. Does he have, I believe he's going to be a dance is what we're going to see for Kuzenbo. So we're going to break
Is
down.
there a dance?
Yeah, he's going to break it down right here.
Because Kuzenbo's victory
Looks like he's
is
sleeping.
one of the greatest animations in the game.
That was the dance?
Is that his dance? He just goes to sleep?
Okay. Okay. I was like,
I was like, I think we failed on this one.
No, I was going to say that's exactly how I dance. I say no, and then I go to sleep instead. It works out perfectly. I don't see an issue with this whatsoever.
If he doesn't break dance, there's going to be a problem.
you don't remember the victory?
What's
Oh, no. You
Another-
guys don't get to see it because
another pawn failure?
did
Pond
not
doesn't
equip.
have it equipped, is what we heard.
See, I imagine.
I'm going to go sick Bree on him.
Oh, I got a better idea. How about you do that, you leave Bree here.
Sadly, we did not get to watch him whip or watch him nay-nay because Pond
Stop.
didn't buy the dance.
Next I'm going to have Fishman dabbing on this show, and I'm just going to quit.
I'm too old for that trend.
But you
Dabbing.
Dabbing, is that what the kids do these
Get off
days?
my lawn!
What have I started? Please, please. So we've got this man over here. He's just turtling around. And our last one, our last skin, or at least our last individual skin that we show here is one that we showed on Masters. If you watched this past weekend, we had the conclusion to our SPL Spring Split. That's where I come from, if you're unfamiliar, Mr. Esports Man. And Obey Alliance was actually the team that went ahead and won. And although they're not really related, the Obey Alliance skin is coming on through. This one's actually a really neat one. This is Obey Alliance Thanatos.
Now, this is a little... So there was a little bit of an abnormality here from what we normally do with our esports skins because Thanatos is wearing full plate mail. So it becomes a little difficult to put a t-shirt onto him.
Yeah.
So what we did was we riffed it off of the
Final boss?
Final boss.
Yeah.
Thanatos.
Thanatos.
Who had a jacket. Thanatos.
Thanatos.
Who had a jacket, and we were able to just alter the jacket and the t-shirt to create the skin as opposed to putting a t-shirt over Thanatos' plate mail.
Oh, wow.
I feel like this was a solid decision.
Sure, it's actually kind of giving them like a higher tier version for the esports skin.
He looks so Morgoth right here.
Yeah, but is he riding the subway with a raven?
Yeah, so I saw that, and yes, he is. He absolutely is. I mean, this guy definitely has like 3 identical pairs of Doc Martens at home. He's got The Cure and Marilyn Manson on repeat. I'm a big fan.
People were worried that the in-game model wasn't going to look good. I think he looks pretty good.
Yeah, no.
Yep.
I'm a big fan, and right now he's got to throw his abilities out. So he's got his Death Scythe, and of course Pon Pon's going to go in melee range, so he can't see what it looks like. Yep, no clue what that looks like.
I mean, that's how you use the Death Scythe in real life, though. You just stuff it in their mouth.
Nah, man, you shoot it from a distance, like.
Colorful metaphor, Chuck.
You really got to go for it from a distance, really. Now there's the big old silence. That's a huge scythe. And then there it is. He's just obliterating people. And the big old stamp when you go in the air usually looks different on these skins. Let's see what it looks like when you. There it is. Oh, bang. It's a big old B. Look at that. Lands right on top. It's pretty sweet. Esports. I'm not you, F. Dot. Hey, why are you talking smack? I wasn't even talking smack. You gotta hit him from a distance. And there you go. Painter Pon. Got a kill. Fantastic. You're gonna get a kill at some point, I suppose. Thanatos is actually one of the characters that Pon used to use when he was a quote-unquote professional player. I remember a specific match one day where Pon was playing Thanatos, and he comes through the mid lane for a gank. There's 3 people at the enemy blue buff, and Pon thought that he could 1v3 at level 4. He got annihilated, and I think that was when Pon decided to retire.
Is that right?
That moment.
That moment?
That moment, for sure. I think so. So that's going to be our Obey Thanatos. I know he can't roast me back, but his wife is
I was going to say, if I were Pon, I'd be like, tell us stories from your pro career, F. Dot.
Come on. Roast him in VGS, Pon. You can do it.
No, he can't. He's got nothing. He knows
you rock. Cancel that.
The classic.
This is why Larson gets muted.
That's right.
The classic.
Oh, my God.
So Obey Alliance, that's the Obey Alliance Thanatos, looking pretty damn dope here with the Death Scythe and a lot of the stuff we have there. So Arlongshen Queen's Guard was first. That's why we have everybody Bree here, which is a lot of fun. And we have the Cosmic skin, the Thoth skin, the Kuzenbo, my buddy skin, and then of course the Thanatos Obey. Coming up next, we have what our patch notes are named for. Bob Ross, really exciting stuff. So before we do have something to show you a little bit about the Bob Ross, but before we get into it, what were some of your highlights about working on this guy?
Was there a story?
There's a story.
I promise you I'll let you tell the story after the video.
There's a lot of highlights. There's a lot of highlights on this guy. He's the opportunities for mixing Sylvanas with the Bob Ross.
You have so much to live
many
for.
in number. You will see.
All right. Bree's got to go.
It's all about the paintings.
But she can hang out. Maybe she can hang out over here.
Bree's got to go.
Now it's just.
All right. Bye,
Look at all the hair.
Littered with detritus.
Yep.
God.
Right back at
Bob
you,
Ross, the Sylvanas skin is the one that we settled on. I know there was a number of different iterations and takes on it from the community, and like I said, we'll discuss that in just a little bit. But for now, this is the real Bob Ross skin and an event to follow with it. So to break it down, we've got a video.
Hi there. I'm so glad you could join me today. I thought today we'd do something extra special. I'd like us to paint some happy trees with a particularly special happy tree. How does that sound, Grover? So let's have them graphically run the colors we'll be using today on screen. Now let's take some of that beautiful Cupid's Love Red and splash that across the sky. Painting should make you happy. And if you can do the things that make you happy, needless to say, you're going to be a happy person. Anyone can paint. As long as you have determination in your heart and you practice, you can do anything. Well, Grover, trees may not have heart, but I know you're full of love. Next, we're going to take Chang'e's Moonlight Silver and start to add it to the canvas. Well, that's okay. Remember, there are no mistakes, just happy little accidents. The Sylvan Ross bundle, including the Bob Ross Sylvanas skin, Bob Ross loading frame, and Bob Ross jump stamp, available in SMITE, May 9th on PC and May 16th on console.
It's really a lot of fun.
Awesome.
So, admittedly, this is weird.
What?
Bob Ross.
Chuck's being weird.
And Smite, right?
I mean,
It was weird.
It's a strange combination.
thing.
Yeah.
To be sure.
So this all came about. Chris, I remember the meeting where Chris came in and was like, all right, we're doing this sponsorship thing, Bob Ross. The community wants it to be Zhang Kui because he's got a paintbrush. And I'm like, he does have a paintbrush. He is also a large, overweight undead man, which...
Not Bob Ross, Zhang Kui.
right.
Yes.
Yes.
This is where the problem lies. So then people were like, well, Thoth is kind of a skinny guy. He's got a tablet. He writes on it. Maybe he can be Bob Ross. Can we show the
Yeah, I think we have some of the concept footage. So
this is
clearly
kind of what happens when you
That's bad.
start concepting.
I like what happens to the froze.
Oh God, it was awful. I was actually in physical pain looking at these in the meeting. I was like, we can't do this.
I feel like A looks like a character that would be on like an Adult Swim type show,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
God.
B looks like a villain from like an early '90s PC title.
or like a Rick and Morty character or
Yeah.
something. So
That's funny.
yeah, so then we were like, well, who is the character in the game that is the most shaped like Bob Ross? It's Sylvanas.
It actually is Sylvanas.
Yeah.
And he rides a tree.
Which is perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the Happy
So,
Trees concept that
yes.
Bob Ross is known for.
So then many other things began to happen. We determined that we could use the paintbrush to fling paint for the in-hands.
And it looks really good.
And we could paint a real, actual happy tree for the deployable. We could have a squirrel. We could mount the painting on the canvas on the tree character. And we could make him the happiest tree
I've
of
never
all
sylvanas this
time.
creature so long.
Yeah, this is
Like-
so. This is actually Grover. You should play some paladins. But if we zoom out a little bit, you'll be able to see Sylvanas Bob Ross style in his full
He's lit.
glory.
Look how happy
He's
that tree
lit.
is.
What are
Yes,
you
that
saying?
tree is so happy.
That is a happy tree.
That is a
There's
happy
Bob.
tree.
He's up there. He's
dog.
painting. He's working on his painting during the match.
Yeah, that's. I think
have
that's
to make
from a
time for your
portable
hobby.
Literally,
events,
how
actually.
could this be better? I don't think it's possible.
Yeah, that's actually really solid that he's painting there. Actually,
Yeah, look
So
at him.
dope.
He's just working on it. The
yeah, I think that's
Look.
really
wipe
well
the
done.
brush off.
Yeah, gotta
Yeah.
clean your brush before you get the next stroke.
And then so that's what he looks like.
I
Just
know
on
the animation
day-to-day.
guys must have just been so happy working on this.
Oh, this had to be a ton of fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just sit here and watch him just paint.
I mean,
That's
that's
amazing.
that tree, though. I mean, Grover's just, he's happy.
He's not just a
He's so
painter though.
happy.
He's a battle artist, right? Check this out. So there he is, tossing the paint. Real talk, like this is awesome.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing about this is that there's sort of like a global painting that he's painting bits of
Oh, really?
during this time.
So it's actually based on where you're firing the basic
Yes.
attack. That's,
That's
really
sweet.
cool.
Make sure we get a good look at the one deployable. I think that looks really dope. So that
Let's not all
no, not I mean
stack
during the
them
process.
together.
Oh my goodness.
This was,
Oh, it smiles. You
Happy
got
little
me
tree.
fine. You got me fine.
So the tree paints itself into existence. You see
that
the
was your
little
idea, right,
paintbrush?
Chuck?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of this was your idea, but this in particular, I
Anything
remember.
that
Everything
Nice.
good is Chuck's idea, okay?
Now you got to show the good clouds
Yeah.
because they're happy.
Yeah. So when the wisps
friendly
coming out,
clouds. Or you can just keep doing the evil clouds.
You should probably spawn bot Odin 1/1 so it's friendly.
Look at you guys knowing how to do stuff. There it is.
Nice.
Look how happy those clouds are.
Are those smoke clouds? I'm
I
just
feel like
asking.
you're making associations here.
You're
just with
going
Larson's
down a
happy
lane
trees
that nobody
is
went
what we're
into.
associating, yeah.
Either way, this is a very happy tree, and he's definitely enjoying himself. And I really like the avenue that you were going down with these basic attacks, talking about how they were location-based, painting a full picture, correct?
But really, it's the ultimate that paints the full picture.
Don't do. Oh, really? Okay. So right here in this corner where you can't see any of the beautiful detail, Pon's going to spam the ultimate over and over again.
Good job,
But if he
Pon.
walks into
Like
the mid
Chuck
lane,
asked him to.
we'll be able to see the picture in the full glow. No, he's going to continue to go into the jungle.
It's a little easier.
Into the
Oh,
wall.
even better.
Just
Look at
for
that.
you, F-Dot.
He's trying to be. Yeah.
Can we?
Right here. So
How you like him now?
So one of the cool things is if you take a look at this, every time he ults, it's kind of different because the entire map is basically, and you guys can talk about this more in depth. It's all painted, and it just depends on where you're located.
Right. We call it World Z UV coordinates.
Sure.
That's technical.
So the
Sounds like I
painting
need
is
sunscreen to walk on this
lined
map.
up in World Z, and all the particles read from World Z so that you get the painting. Just made the painting tile.
That's really cool. I didn't know that was a thing we could do. That's very cool.
And so the basic attacks also sort of feed into this idea of the location-based stuff, which is really, I think this skin is really awesome.
Pon, do it where you can in the jungle, go in the jungle, and then make where we can see Bob's face. Here's your bravery test. And then throw your basics in that face area. You see?
To paint over it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get face.
It's revealing the same particles.
Yeah.
And then if you paint somewhere else, you'll get.
Oh, I
You
get
see
it.
that?
Oh, see, I wasn't getting it at first.
See there, look.
Now I get it.
Now you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because you and your happy
Turn your
trees.
auto attack speed up really high, Pon.
Pon, do it.
You're gonna have to buy some
Now he's gotta
items.
go back to base.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a common build for Sylvanas, right?
Yeah, max attack speed Sylvanas.
Yeah.
That's, we saw that in Masters not too long ago. So.
Shouts to Paper Bat. When this character first came out, P-Bat played it in the solo lane using all attack speed and Telkine's ring, and actually really frustrated me and a number of other players. It was not fun.
Wow.
And Ataraxia is a fan of the solo Sylvanas as well. Just ask him about the scaling on this character. Axie really is a big fan. But yeah, that's one of the cooler things I think we've seen. But it's not just the skin. There's also a number of different things that we've got going on here, which we can kind of show you in depth a little bit later. Unfortunately, we've got the skin here, which is kind of dope. But he comes with you also the whole event and the bundle winds up being a loading frame, a loading screen skin, which is...
Oh, what's that?
So the loading screen skin, you know when it's 5v5 and you get your team or whatever and the background's black? Now the background is like a beautiful Bob Ross painting.
Yes,
that
this
comes
is
out.
only the second loading screen skin. We had the first one, the Egyptian event. And this one we were like, well, Bob Ross, right? We have the license.
I have
do
to
the
say
things.
this one's the best one so far.
Let's
of the two.
make a Bob Ross painting in the backdrop.
I gotta say, this is the
It
best
looks awesome.
patch notes that I've ever hosted. So
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one.
I'm reserving my judgment. We'll see how it
Painter
goes.
Pon. I didn't even see his name till now.
Painter Pun, yeah.
Every patch. He's got a theme.
He tries at least. And it comes with a paint splatter jump stamp. $20 says Pon didn't get it.
You got the jump stamp on? You got it equipped?
No. There's no way.
You don't pay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Where's my $20, Pon?
Yep.
We clearly shook hands on it out here while you're back there. But so he has a jump stamp that's pretty neat that shows a little bit of that. But
It's got Bob Ross's face and some paint splatters.
the loading frame is my favorite. So the loading frame, like I said, I think we can show you a little bit later.
Is it Kappa Ross?
We'll be going in more depth a little bit later.
Because
So
that
what
would
it
have been
is,
awesome.
it's an easel.
Thanks for telling us now.
Right? It's an easel, and then as you load into the game, whatever character you're playing, their card gets painted.
Yeah.
By so we have a still of what it looks like. Actually,
Guess whose idea that was?
I'm gonna
Chuck's?
say mine.
It's not Chuck's.
Wasn't me.
No,
There it is. So you can see whatever. So there's the Sylvanas.
That was
skin.
my contribution to this package.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
You said do that.
And then Jerry made the
and then
sweet,
Jerry actually did it.
technology.
Oh, who is playing? Who is playing in this playtest? All I recognize is Gray Pon, which
I
is
believe that's Grey Poupon.
yeah, it's one of his better play on pawns. I appreciated that one.
So there's the loading frame.
So unfortunately, we used his card, but any card will get painted.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like no matter what character you play, it's so awesome.
Which is that's why I think that's a slam dunk. And then you've got your happy clouds, your happy trees, and just in general, the skin is above average on the happy scale.
We did it, boys.
Yeah.
The skin's a happy little accident.
Yeah. Well, I think it was actually a very intentional and meticulous
nonsense
thing.
There was a lot of, you know, it just slowly evolved over time from being the horrible nightmare that was Zhang Kuei.
Because there are no mistakes.
This is true iterative development.
Yeah.
We spent 2 months just putting more stuff in it.
Yeah. I believe that, actually. I mean, look at the way it came out.
The hallway conversations were like, oh, man, we could do this.
Yeah. It was so great.
And then we would do that.
Yeah, the hallway conversations
really well.
certainly
And then
are
actually,
always
when
the best.
Mark concepted him, he wanted the painting ultimate, and I was like, we can't do that. And then Mike and I were looking at it, and I was like, no, we can do that.
We have the technology.
Yes, we will do it.
We also have the technology for a voice pack, so let's take a listen to what Mr. Sylvanas has to say here with the Bob Ross voice pack.
What's Bob Ross sound like?
This.
Woohoo. Bless you, my friend.
Oh, wow.
Happy as can be. I owe it to you. Anytime you learn, you gain. Gotta give him a friend. Everyone needs a friend.
Is that the taunt?
Be sure to use odorless paint thinner. If it's not odorless, you'll find yourself working alone very, very quick. That's a crooked tree. We'll send him to Washington.
Oh my gosh, this is so good.
Oh my goodness, they did it! That's out of this world. That's fantastic. Painter Pond, any last things you want to show us on the Sylvanas before we move on to the meat and potatoes of the patch notes? All right, looks like we're gonna monkey around with our tree over here. So Bob Ross came out really dope. I think that the Arlong Shen Queen's Guard, obviously I'm gonna talk about dogs all the time. I think that is definitely a slam
How could you not?
So across here, what was your favorite skin of the pack of the patch so far?
I mean, it's Bob Ross hands down.
It's Bob Ross.
It's pretty top tier. I did like a lot of the details on the Kuzenbo.
Yeah.
I like all the skins. The Bob Ross. Is just
so many features.
Let's see what Bree says.
We're gonna let you say goodbye to our friend Bree here before we move on.
Yep. Bree, I don't know. She probably likes the Sylvanas skin a lot.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm gonna go pet the dog, and while I do that, I have some friends to really cover things. It's Amanda and it's Savvy. Take it away.
Hello. We are so excited to be here. We've been furiously loving that dog. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. I'm so distracted by the dog, I can't focus on the skin.
Yep. Well, so the skin's coming out this patch. Thoth is going to be directly purchasable, which is pretty cool. Erlang Shen is coming out in a brand new chest, and as previously discussed, the Bob Ross skin is going to be in a bundle, which we'll have tons of information on that when Patch Notes goes live right after the show. But more importantly, console.
Yeah, console's been the talk in everybody's ear this week. We've had to apologize sincerely for the patch that we released on Tuesday. There are some issues. Don't use VGS commands in game. That will protect you from crashing.
Just for Xbox.
But yes, just for Xbox, because we did hotfix PS4 this morning. Chris Larson, our producer, and myself and Amanda, we've all spent a lot of time on Reddit, Twitter, wherever you can talk to us, commenting, trying to explain the situation today. So we hear you, and we sincerely apologize for this. But as transparent as we are trying to be, I just found out during Patch Notes show that Xbox patch, the hotfix will not be happening today. We hope for early tomorrow morning, but we're going to get it out as fast as possible, and we are taking every step that we can to make sure that stuff like this doesn't happen in the future.
Yeah, and follow Hi-Res Ops if you want to know like exactly when Xbox can go down. Yes. Savannah's gonna be tweeting at Hi-Res Savvy as well as on SMITE Game. So we will keep you in the loop tonight and tomorrow morning on when that patch hits.
We are doing something special this weekend before we go away. For console players, because we had this whole mess, we are gonna do 3 times everything all weekend long just for you guys. So PC, you'll still have your double everything, but we've gotta be there for our console folks too, so enjoy 3 times everything all weekend long.
Yeah, and on a happier note, we've got our community skins concepts. We had the top 3 chosen, and our artists have been reconcepting them, and we're going to be showing you them on Monday. So get ready to vote on those. They look pretty awesome so far.
They look sick.
And I think that's it. I guess we can head back over to FDOT and Pon Pon. I think they're going to talk about bug fixes and balance.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys.
Hello.
We're certainly back. The other people aren't here any longer.
As you can tell, they are empty. Here we go.
We had a dog there before. It's so good.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of hair.
Yeah, I have no care, though. It's an excellent dog.
It reminds me of my dogs.
Yeah.
They shed everywhere.
Well, either way, we're going to move on from some of the dog stuff. That was all skin related. Now the real meat and potatoes of the patches. Bug fixes, item balance, god balance, and all that fun stuff. So let's dive right in. It's 4.8 patch notes. And we'll start off with the bug fixes, I guess is a perfect spot to start off with. Things that weren't working that should be working now. The first one is going to be Phantom Veil.
Well, we need to actually have the notes up. There we go.
I was rooting for it.
Yeah, so essentially, there's just a few bugs that were happening. We added that phantom effect. Some characters broke the effect, so we fixed it.
Nice. Nice and simple as far as the items are concerned. God fixes as well coming through. Ganesh is going to be number 1 first and foremost. We see some of the issues there. Yeah. Oh, but you wanted to talk about that now or
no,
later?
We don't have to talk about that now. Just in general, most of these bug fixes are, again, description updates or small little fixes. Anything else is really kind of just really pretty minor.
All right, so we are going to talk about this right now. I figured we'd talk about it. Let's just say here. I figured we were going to talk about it a little bit about the balances. Instead, this is one of the bigger things about this game. So why don't we talk about the player experience level? So this is something that's going to be changed immediately, but sort of.
So essentially, we've heard a lot of complaints about snowball meta overall. Anyways, we have a whole bunch of things with snowball that we've gotten a lot of complaints about. In very there is this feeling that the early game, it can snowball out of control. It can be very quickly become unmanageable. And so we're taking steps to address that immediately. But the thing is, addressing the early game and how the early game flows is a really big deal. And the way we've chosen to do that is also a really big deal. And so what we need to do is test this on PTS first before we actually throw it out in the live environment. So this change that you guys are going to see, and there's a whole bunch of dev commentary explaining it. There's the notes kind of talking about that it won't be going live in 4.8, but it will be tested on PTS. So we are adjusting player experience, the amount of experience it takes to get from level 1 to 2, and then also adjusting 2 to 3 and 3 to 4 to compensate, so that players will, with one wave, no matter what, even if you split it with 2 people, 3 people, it won't work. If you split with 2 people, you will actually hit level 2.
So essentially what happened before was it was sort of this battle, especially specifically in Dual Lane. It was this battle to see who had the best clear, and then whoever had the best clear, they would be rewarded with the jungle camps and subsequently level 2. Now, no matter what, if y'all sitting in the lane, you're both going to get level 2, and if you outpush me and head into my jungle, well, congratulations, but at least I can still fight you, because that was the big issue. Y'all would come into my jungle after pushing out, and then you'd be level 2, and I'd be level 1, and I'd sit there with, I only have a ring toss or whatnot, and you would be able to really body stomp me. So this should be the nice little turnaround that allows that, yes, you still get the invade if you were able to successfully push us out of lane, but I'm not coming out here with little to no weapons. I have some sort of way to really battle you back. So,
and it's also better than Soul Lane too, where Soul Lane or whoever pushed first and could get to the fire elemental pit, they kill the minis and hit level 2.
Right.
And then once you're level 2, it's really hard to contest the big one versus the level 2 and you're level 1. And so this change really will change how people want to start, how people want to position themselves. Maybe the jungler, they can also now hit level 2 off a single camp if they're alone.
Yeah.
And so maybe they want to start there versus it starting in the mid. And so this has a lot of shakeup potential, and so we wanted to test it on PTS first. Again, this will be on 4.8 PTS. It will not go 4.8 live. And then if everything goes well and we get positive feedback on this might potentially make it into 4.9.
That's also the key there is we're re-empowering the community as well. For a long time, you know, SMITE kind of, we listen to a lot and then we listen to us a lot and it kind of goes back and forth. Here it's sort of like the ball's in your courts, guys. We're going to put this live onto PCS, and if it works out, pretty much according to the way that you guys play and the feedback that you give, we'll be able to deploy it not 4.8 but for 4.9. And like I said, this is like Pon said, this is one of those big changes that seems kind of small, but winds up having.
I don't think we've ever actually adjusted player levels.
Yeah, it's butterfly effect status where something like this might affect level 17 item purchases, and you just can't forecast that.
Yeah.
So I like the idea that we're going to push it on PTS, listen to the public, see how the games go before really committing to it to such a large change. So that's one of the bigger deals out here. So shout outs to you guys. Please play on the PTS. Follow Chris Larson, of course.
There's
everybody
a
else
second
will let you
change
know.
though. Also, the Gold Fury. Gold Fury is getting adjustments. So Gold Fury overall is something that people can get really, really easily, very early, especially if they hit level 2 first and they push you out, and then now they have a level lead, they get a pick on you, and then they can just rush Gold Fury.
Right.
We made it a little bit easier in Season 4. we're reverting some of that. So now it's going to be tankier at the start. It'll scale a little bit less, so it's about the same strength mid-game. And this gold value is also going down in the early game, with its gold value coming back in out of the mid-game to be even as to what it currently is. So the gold Fury will be worth a little bit less overall in the early game. It's still going to be good. If you can get it, it's worth it, but it's going to be harder to get, and it's going to be worth a little bit less.
So again, the idea is to sort of combat Snowball. Basically, I think the large majority of Smite winds up being generally competitive and exciting, but on the lower ends and the extreme high ends, if you watch Masters, that it can get a little bit, you know, he who clears first, right? So this is sort of to really combat that situation, both the lane changes, the level changes, and of course the Gold Fury as well. If you push me out of lane, get level 2 before me, beat me up, and then get Gold Fury, I'm probably not winning right now.
Yes.
So with these changes, that should fix that, and I really think it will.
Yeah, so. We had a lot of discussions about this, and in general, it seems like it opens up a lot of options, and people can actually experiment pretty heavily with this. So we're excited to see what people do.
Yeah, and again, real talk, it's really dope that we're going to have it on PTS before it actually goes live. So you guys should feel a little bit more powerful, and let us know if it actually works, because we have a handful of people in our playtest, whether we're good, bad, or in between. There are literally thousands of people out there that can help us out with that regard. So certainly looking forward to that. Moving on past that, we're going to take a look at some God bug fixes that had bothered us just a little bit. Bastet gets a little bit of update to her ultimate.
Yeah, so this is for Nuwa, Kuzenbo, and Bastet. Their pets, they have actually like scaling health factors or scaling armor factors, or they inherit some from their owner. That was never really clear in the tooltip. Like Bastet gets protections per rank, but it never said anywhere that it did. And so now it does.
Nice. So the stuff that was happening, now you know. And all that stuff is behind the curtain. Hades also getting some old bug fixes. Ganesh is going to come up first, though. He has his pillars changed just a little bit. One of the issues where the ultimate had a weird hitbox.
Yeah, the ultimate had an inconsistent hitbox, and also if you changed the terminology, if you changed height inside of it, you got hit, which I think really the big break case was Giannis Portal would cause this. If you Giannis Portal, you get hit, even though you technically didn't leave the box. So, fixed.
And then after Ganesh, that's when we go to Hades. I actually can read. And that's going to be when he comes out.
Nope, it is debuff duration now has a duration.
Well, it says blights, not flights. Yes, the debuff icon has a duration, and I clearly need to get some classes. Next up is going to be Kepri, nice and easy. This one is just updating the description. The way the radius works for
this is our last patch meme changed, which was the updated description of this ability with the correct radius for this ability.
Yeah, thanks.
We have done it.
Thanks. We have done it again. After that is Ram. He comes right before Robin, and his patch is going to be.
Nope, it is Kuzenbo. Nuwa.
Awesome.
We got stuff.
Yeah,
we got other stuff.
So Kuzenbo's going to come through, and the Nene Kappa is going to be updated with some of that nonsense with Bastet that we were talking about. The protections being passed on to the teammates, and then the Nuwa going to get the same thing with Clay Warriors. So Nene Kappa and Clay Warriors both get the protection chair in that regard. And you can just read the tooltip now instead of just kind of having to know what's going on. Beyond Nuwa, there's going to be another god with a god balance bug fix. Excuse me. That'll be Ram and the astral damage coming out there. Correct radius again.
Yes, it was saying the diameter. It wasn't saying the radius, so we made it the radius.
Is this? If we scroll down and it's another radius, I'm going to yell at Hindu Man in Australia.
No, this one actually, people were really confused with the Robin one. This one was the duration of it, the ultimate, was listed as 3 to 5 seconds, but it actually lasted 5 seconds throughout the entire thing. That was our intent, so we've just cleared up the tooltip, so it is 5 seconds at all ranks.
That one I'll deal with. Okay, we're allowed to say that.
That one's fair.
Yeah, that one's fair. The Morrigan,
there was an issue with her clone copy. That actually, when you hovered over it, it would show Nox's icon. It doesn't show Nox's icon anymore.
The radius of the icon is now fixed as we'll move down to what could be, I think that might be the last one, actually. It is.
Yep, we're into item changes.
Finally, this is where I cut my teeth. Item changes are coming out here. We mixed some things up.
Yeah, no, this is neat.
I'm actually really amped about this. So, Emperor's Armor, this has been a sort of super luxury item for supports. We've seen it built by pro player Iraffer as his last item 6 slot. It really changes the way that you play around the defense structures in the game.
Yeah, so the big thing that we're doing here is we like this item and we think it has a cool effect, but it's something that it's hard to justify the purchase of, especially until the later stage of the game when you're looking to get the different auras online, like your Sovereignty or your Thebes, stuff like that. And so we're just going to make it a little bit more compelling to buy. We're upping the physical protection some from, I believe, 30 to 40, so you're a little bit more tanky. And then we're also doing we like how offensive it is. If you're using it to debuff the enemy tower, it works pretty well. But the defensive component didn't feel strong enough to justify, even though they were the same. It's the difference between offense and defense. So we're making it so that when you're on defense, your attack speed now, the attack speed you give to your tower is now faster. So it's a little bit more power on the defense when you're kind of on the back foot.
Yeah, and so that means when the enemy's coming right into your tower, all of a sudden, you know, when on the cast, when I say like they're fighting 6v5, I mean a tower's a tower, right?
Yeah.
But if you're wearing that Emperor's armor, it's really going to start coming down. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that tower damage ramps up really quickly.
Yeah, because that's really the key. Don't forget there is that attack speed on towers is not going to scale linearly. It's going to jut up because you do more damage with subsequent tower hits and the idea of juggling tower. This is just a really cool item that I think this small change might increase the amount that people buy it. So Emperor's armor, cool item, under purchased. Fatalis, cool item, maybe over purchased. So there have been some changes in that regard as well.
So for hunters, we saw a lot of them building Fatalis. We know Fatalis effect is a really powerful.
Assassins, we've seen them build
Assassins
Fatalis.
build it. We've
warriors,
seen some mages, Poseidon,
Guardians.
Yeah, but basically Fatalis is a really strong effect. It lets you chase, it lets you box effectively. It just has a lot of utility purposes. We've seen that like characters that lost that effect, we ended up having to go back and buff pretty significantly to make up. That just kind of conveys how strong this effect is. And when it was at 2,300 gold, and for the stats it provided, it was just 2 core on too many characters. It quickly becomes frustrating to fight against if it's in every single game that you play. And so now we're shifting it from this core item that you can build pretty early to a more of a cost investment, kind of akin to a luxury item, because really this is a luxury effect that you're buying.
Yeah, I mean,
we're changing it to be, what, 300 gold more expensive, and then we're upping the attack speed a little bit so you get a little bit more stats for it, but really this is moving it towards the luxury category.
Yeah, because for a long time this was strictly a luxury item. You kind of couldn't purchase it because it had no stats whatsoever. It was just attack speed and zoom. And then when they added 10 penetration, that was the excuse. That was sort of like, you know, hey, I'm eating vegetable soup, ma, but really it's like just cheese and everything.
Yeah.
That was the excuse. They added 10 pen. I could buy it on Poseidon. I could buy it on Noir. I'm good,
justified.
Right? So with that change, I think too many people started to chow down. So we were moving it towards the more expensive category. You got to buy a little bit later. Still purchasable, still totally doable, but a little bit out of reach for those. Can I squeeze it? So
yeah, it's like the edge case scenarios are a little bit less now.
Yeah, I will make fun of you if you buy this like first item now. Now moving on, we have a third and final item, Shogun's Kusari, another really exciting item that I think is getting changed, similar to change number 1. Cool item, under purchased, same idea here, and I think that's where the idea for the change came from.
Yeah, I think a lot of this also comes down to support players, right? Like support players have the Sovereignty Heart Ward, Gauntlet of Thieves, and there's these other aura items that actually feel pretty cool and give really cool effects, but because they're not just raw defenses or raw stats, it's kind of hard to weigh how good they are. It's kind of hard to justify them over that purchase. And so part of the Emperor's Armor was to give them another option, and this change is also to give them another option. Focus here is cheaper, so it's easier to buy, a little bit less defense to compensate for that cheaper price, but we are making the aura significantly stronger so that when you actually are around someone that can use it, it feels very impactful.
Yeah, 25% attack speed is a big deal. So when you're sitting there on your support and you're like, all right, so I'm going to buy this for my Nemesis jungle and my Arlong Shen solo lane, all of a sudden 15% is nice, sweet, thank you, thumbs up. 25%, you actually notice that.
Yeah, I could imagine this like on a support play. They finish Sov, they're like, well, I need some magical defense, but I don't think my team needs it. Maybe we could just burn objectives really quickly. I can pick this up instead. And now we're getting 25% attack speed on Gold Fury, Portal, Demon, Fire Giant, Towers.
I think this also opens up itemization in the solo lane as well. Yeah. So a little bit less defense than you might be used to, but a lot more offensive ability. 25% attack speed on that item, I think, is a really big deal. That should do it for the item changes as far as this patch is concerned. We'll move on to the big boys themselves, the old gods, the characters. These guys got some changes. First off, it's Ares. My man got some changes.
I mean, this one's a pretty minor one, but it has good reaching impacts here. His base protection was 17, which is really low for a Guardian. Most sit around the 20 to 23 range. And for a character that wants to be in the mini wave constantly, because you have to be in the mini wave if you want to be aggressive at level 1 and 2, it's really punishing. Yeah. So we're reducing the punishment a little bit. We're bringing his protections up from 17 to 20, so that he can actually deal with the minion damage a bit more effectively.
So he can vote, but still can't drink. Shout outs to 17 to 20 for Ares. Moving on, next is going to be Kronos. This guy, one of my favorites. This guy has gone through a slew of changes. We mentioned how Fatalis was a really strong effect, and we took it away from some of those characters, and they felt kind of sick. Not in the like cool way, but like they had something wrong with them. So Kronos, I think, has had a number of changes and still working towards that.
Yeah, so the big thing is Kronos' late game got a huge buff in the last round. His accelerate and the scaling that gives is actually very, very good, but getting to the late game is really, really rough. He used to be able to use the Thanatos effect to box effectively and kind of stay even in these trades early, but that was taken away. So we're giving it back in a different form. So stop time now hits 20 harder, so it's 10 per shot, which gives him a little bit better clear. And then his ultimate, this is the big one, is it used to be 120 scaling down to 80, I believe, and now it's 100 scaling down to 80. So you can put 1 point in it, not feel bad, rank up your other abilities, or you can rush it if you really need the cooldown.
Yeah, and this is one of those feel changes that, you know, as a longtime Kronos player, you get there and you get your three abilities out there, and you're able to clear the wave with your time stop and your time rift in the right spots. A couple of basics. This time stop change seems really small, will feel better, and the ultimate's one of those things where you sit there and you're like, I guess I got to level it up. Oh man, that feels dirty. Now you can kind of just like leave it and then kind of worry about it in the late game, which is kind of what Kronos wants to do. And now it becomes risk versus reward instead of you better level it, otherwise you're just completely boned. So I think that's a nice change for Kronos. Still, I personally have eyes on him. I think that we're going to keep an eye on him, but he's better than you might think. Shout out to Zero's playing him earlier in the weekend. Maybe even try him. Yeah, he definitely has potential. Try him in your games, just not if I'm in them. Coming up next is going to be Izanami, the hunter, the undead. What pantheon?
She is Japanese.
The Japanese undead hunter coming up next. She has had some changes as well. Another character that has been under the microscope.
I think this one's much more kind of a minor change of a quality life thing. The fadeaway has a mana cost reduction on this. That's the change. It was 90 to 70, and now it's just 70 all ranks. The big thing here is that 90 at rank 1, where you have to leave it because you're not ranking that skill up, is really punishing over the course of the early and mid game. And so now being at 70 all ranks actually helps her kind of use her more offensive abilities. It doesn't feel as punishing to use the fade away, especially because it's kind of slow and can be interrupted. Just make that not feel as bad for when you get like interrupted out of it or you get immediately taken out of it. You didn't lose as much mana.
Because that happens all the time.
And we fixed some of it. The minions don't do it anymore, at least.
Sure, but I mean, every game features Medusa where she's just like, and like everybody in the lane gets hit.
Yeah,
so.
juke it. Be good.
Yeah,
position well.
I mean, Thanatos also comes through and hits him with the scythe. So.
Yeah, position well. Don't get hit by Thanatos. That's just asking for death.
Don't get hit. The official messaging from Hi-Res Pod.
That's what you're supposed to do in Smite. Don't get hit.
Sounds
the less you
right
get
to
hit,
me.
the more you win.
And the character most adept at not getting hit, it's Jing Wei. This character got buffs. Shouts to Alexum. His character is definitely going to be a little bit better now.
Yeah, so this is kind of a long time coming. We've been watching her really closely. We made this change in Season 4 where we moved the Thanatos effect, and we watched all the hunters kind of move around and all the magical hunters move around. And Jing Wei had glimmers of hope coming into some season patches, but never kind of got there. And so now we're ready to actually adjust her. Agility, which was her primary boxing tool with the Thanatos effect, now is getting a different boxing tool.
Right, so this is going to be interesting. Depending on the way you use it, you're actually going to get bonus movement speed and physical power when you use it based on if you're in the air or not.
Yep, so you get bonus physical power, movement, speed base for just using it. And then if you're in the air, it gets more powerful. So if you want to use it to dash offensively to get a whole bunch of movement speed to chase and use your power, you can. If you want to use it to get away, you get movement speed to get away. So it gives her an extra tool that she didn't have before, so she can either engage or disengage effectively.
And, you know, on the other side of design, there's always the, well, do the numbers work out? Can she beat somebody up? And then there's a sort of gamey design. Well, what's the identity of the character? What does this character mean, right? And I think Jing Wei's whole gimmick, you know, and stop me if I'm wrong, she's supposed to be super safe. She's supposed to be very agile. And I think that this change, I mean, we could have just been like, well, the ult hits for 1,000. She's good now, right? Yeah. But I think this change is more akin to what Jing Wei's supposed to be, what she's supposed to feel like when you play her. You want to pop down, go and zoom all around and shoot people in the brain. Like, that was what she's about.
Yeah.
And buffing her someplace else kind of didn't feel right. I think this was the right spot.
Yeah, agility, especially because agility just kind of felt like it was missing something after the Thanatos removal. So now it actually feels like it has this additional component that you can use effectively.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a really strong look for what Jing Wei brings to the table. So Ares got a little bit of a buff as far as how hard he can get hit, 17 to 20. Kronos got some love, the ultimate cooldown, and a little bit of what comes through with the damage from time stop. Izanami was a little bit more complex, but basically you're going to use less mana when you're using fade away. And then, of course, Jing Wei came through with this change to her agility, so that's pretty neat. Kukulkan also getting some love here.
This one's similar to Izanami, except the reverse. You max Whirlwind first. It costs 110 mana. You often max it before you actually have a mana item. It was kind of made 110 because you're expecting him to build a ton of mana to make use of his passive. And so we're just reducing that overall across the board. I think it's all ranks is reduced. And so now when you actually rank it up to level 5, you don't have as much mana expenditure.
So just would you consider that quality of life or more God adjustment?
This is kind of in between. It's a mix between quality of life and balance. Like, it might not feel necessarily super impactful, but you're talking about like a player getting 2 to 3 more whirlwinds off in a fight. Like, your fighter on goal for you want to use it to position well instead of being and having to back. That makes actually a big difference over like a lot of games played. So
yeah, it's one of those things where like it's quality of life on the surface. It'll just make your life feel a little bit better. But then as games go on, you sit there and go, I got all this mana all of a sudden.
Yeah,
I can actually slither away this time around. So
pretty good stuff.
Nice changes for the Snake Man, the Noodle Guy himself. I think that's it for our gotcha. No, Robin shows up. Robin's going to be doing his thing, so we're going to take a look at where Robin's going.
Yeah, so we buffed his ultimate. We made it so that it hit harder. It gave him the damage reduction at all times. Gave him bonus damage to the target that he hit. So lots of things that went in his favor, and he very quickly became quite good. We saw at Masters he was a pretty strong jungler, much to Aggro's chagrin.
I was just going to say that. Aggro was wrong.
That was a fun Twitter argument.
Oh, that was really good.
But yeah, so he ended up being quite good. Mainly it comes down to 2 factors. It's the all protections, and it's the damage that he could pump out really early on, especially in the jungle role.
Yeah.
So we're reducing the damage that 10-handed Shadowfist did. It was 120 at base, which is really high. It's now 100 at base, and it scales up. And then the ultimate is now 40% instead of 50% at all times.
Yeah, so that'll change a lot of, because what happens is he wants to deal the damage with the Prana Assault over and over again, and the root was kind of just with the idea that you're going to be Prana Assaulting over and over again. The root was just hitting too hard.
Yeah, especially level 1, level 2, like you can use it to clear the wave if they don't block. If they block it, they're eating 120 damage at level 1. It's pretty significant.
So I think that change might bring Robin that step back that he kind of needed. Serket also getting a change, the Poison Assassin.
Yeah, the other really good jungler.
Yeah, the omnipresent, incredibly mobile, high damage, protections don't matter jungler herself, Serket. P.S. she has crowd control.
Yep.
So she's going to get some changes in the right direction.
The big thing is we made a change in Season 4 that made it so her Catalyst was better. It used to be 10 and 20% maximum health. We changed it to 15 and 25. We like the top end of that. We like if you actually detonate 3 poisons because it's kind of hard to find the right position and throw them into, like, if there's not a wall nearby, it's really hard to land that last hit. So we're keeping that at 25%, but we're reverting the change at 2 poisons. So 2 poisons is only 10% maximum health now. We saw that make a huge difference in her play, so we expect this to tone down her early game potential. The second change is the ultimate is now not weird numbers anymore.
Yeah, those numbers always...
It was like 228, 364. Like, it was weird.
I'll be honest, the caster really take pride in knowing like the little details, like, what does Agni's passive scale at? Yeah, I never knew that one. Just 268 at rank 1? Not going to happen. So you guys changed it up.
Yeah, so now it's it's weaker at the early game. It ends up being around the same at the late time. It's a 6 damage increase at level 5, but it's weaker at every other rank. And it's 210 at base. So this is also to tone down her early game potential, having a little bit less true damage when she fights and a little bit less confirmed damage from the 2-1 combo with an auto attack. Should help players feel like they have a better chance at fighting her.
Yeah, it was kind of obnoxious. This character kind of, well, all right, she should do better late game because that's when she could buy crit items, and but she's already running me early game, so this kind of balances that out. You can actually fight her, and I'm really happy about the change to the passive there, because as a Serket player, a lot of players kind of just go for the 1-2 punch. There's no real... I mean, I guess I'll try for the 3, but even then, you didn't really think about it. Now you're going to have players actually aiming for that 3-strike home run, so I think that should be a lot of fun. And the Monkey Man himself, Sun Wukong, also getting some changes here in patch 4.8.
Yeah, this is exciting. Sun Wukong buffs, man. We saw Osiris actually have a lot of success with increasing the base physical power scaling. They had decent early games, they had decent poke potential, but they just didn't have enough kind of weight into the late game. And so we're taking kind of the same approach with Sun Wukong. We're increasing the scaling on his Cudgel and his Master's Will, so his spin. 10% on the Cudgel, 15% on the Master's Will.
That's actually a really big deal.
Yeah, it gives him, if he wants to build damage and kind of poke, it is much more in his interest because he can actually get that damage out pretty consistently. It also means that because the Cudgel does bonus damage to the minions, that bonus damage is also technically increased because he has higher scaling now, so you actually have a little bit better wave clear as well. Pretty good stuff. Sun Wukong is going to be good.
Sun Wukong's going to be in every ranked game, just...
Nah, There's still Robin's still gonna be quite good. Bellona's still a popular pick.
But
Hercules
but
still
Sun
exists.
Wukong is a monkey. Let's be real.
He's fun.
He's a lot of fun. And on a serious note, Sun Wukong's whole gimmick, I think, when he first came out was, look at me. I'm in the middle of your team fight, disrupting. I'm knocking everybody up. I'm slowing them, and then I'm whapping, right? And he kind of, other characters, kind of crept up above. Now he's back. Now I think he can really just get in the middle and Masters will everybody. And
yeah, he'll be putting out a lot more damage over the course of the game.
Yeah, and that's kind of where Sun Wukong fits. So shout outs to him. And Terra, the Earth Mother. She's going to get some adjustments as well here in 4.8.
Yeah, so we saw her in... We had a change with Monolith to make it deal burst damage.
Right.
And this was when she had kind of really fallen off. People weren't really picking her. We wanted to give her a way to actually feel like she impacted a fight immediately rather than having these long-term effects that she had. And that worked out really well for her. And as players picked her up, she suddenly became very, very good. At the Masters LAN, we saw her be one of the most contested support picks, if not the most contested. I think it was the most contested.
Yeah, she was up there.
And it was largely off the ability for that ultimate to engage really effectively, right? Like, you pop the ultimate, you know the team wants to fight. It's kind of like the Shipalonke ultimate, where it's like, you pop it, everyone knows you're going to go. But Terra has a little bit less counterplay because you can use it to escape and move in really effectively.
That
it's
was
hard
the
to
key.
chase. And so we're reducing that from 30% to 20% in all ranks. It's still going to help you engage. It's still going to help you disengage. It'll still have the heal component and the CDR and the mana, the free mana casting. It's just going to be a little bit less effective at that whole chasing and running away.
Straight up, yeah. I mean, it used to be a get out of jail free card. Now it's like showing up with an attorney. You're in a little bit better position, but you still might be in some issues.
Is that the metaphor you're going to go with?
Well, I've heard get out of jail free card used so often, So I mean, I figure I'll go along that route.
It's fair. I'll take it.
Yeah, so there you go.
I knew what you were doing.
Yeah, see? That's all that matters. That's the value of language. Terra, Blessing, getting changed from 30 to 20%, I think is a really big deal and should help her stop from being over strong and where some areas with that ultimate. So we'll see where else she goes from there.
I believe
That's going to be all of the god changes. That's going to be all of the item changes. And that leaves us with my favorite, achievements! Chivos! No. Smack those Chivos! Got to get them. This one is just for Ganesha. Obviously, one of the newer gods in the game, bringing out some achievements.
Yes.
Ganesh.
So I think they're mostly around the whole passive mechanic. Ohm, as Ganesh silence 3 or more enemy gods with a single cast of the Ohm ability. So be in the middle of the fight, Ohm out, and then just spin.
Do you say Ohm out?
Yeah, Ohm out. Just throw the Ohm out.
I am doing every time. Ohm out. Oh, got to do it.
There you go. And just spin. You'll get them.
So I didn't listen at all. Can you say that one more time? The achievement?
No. Wait, you were making jokes off it. How'd you not listen?
So if you give 1 or more kills to an allied god, you also receive Pacifist, which is one of the big deals about this Pantheon. So basically, you kind of just show up and at least get a kill.
Yeah, it's mainly explaining the mechanic, right? Like we do this with a lot of characters where the achievement really just kind of explains one of those mechanics that players might not understand right immediately.
I like that.
Newer players.
I like that. That's kind of just showing like, hey, this is in the game and you should do it.
Yep.
And that's pretty much what Ganesh is about. Just Omen on.
Yeah.
So,
Oming out.
Yeah, Omen out is pretty much exactly what we're going to do here. 4.8 is very exciting. We have a lot of new skins, a lot of new stuff here, and of course the Bob Ross event coming at you. I think we'll have some more information as the week goes on, and that's all very fun and all a lot of fun and exciting stuff. As far as other stuff is concerned, the SMITE community has lost an extremely valued member of it very recently. David Allied Hans, unfortunately, has passed away yesterday or early this morning. In any event, he's no longer with us, and he has definitely been an important part to us both personally, professionally, publicly, privately, and everywhere in between. I think that a lot of people out there have been affected by him in only the positive ways, and that's exactly how we're going to remember him. If you use #Allied Strong in-game, you can go ahead and secure yourself the Allied icon, which I think a number of us are already rocking, just to show Allied that, he kind of was the man. He came out here and he kind of just overhand smashed everybody in the face with positivity, and that's what we're going to keep on keeping on. So to conclude this patch notes, we just want to remember him with a couple of moments of silence. So thank you for joining us, and shout outs to Allied. Thank you again. Much love to Allied, his friends, his family, and everybody out there in the SMITE world. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.